Hello to the 0 people that are in here. I'm going to try and start early. There's some breaking news. We'll get into it when someone else gets in here. I'm out of breath. I've just jumped about. Hold on. Holy fucking shit. Oh my God. We've got Ten Hag. Forget the Premier League. Game week review. We will do it, but we've got Ten Hag. Oh my God. I'm lost for words. I am lost for words. Hold on. I'm trying to get people in here. Ten Hag. Oh my God. I'm lost for words. I knew it was going to get done, but like it's done today. It is done today. Like, allow me that I'm lost for words. Thomas will be joining. How's everyone feeling about this? There's one person in here. My channel, let's be honest, my channel is dead. My channel is utterly dead. But Ten Hag. Wow. We may have some connection issues when Thomas first joins. But oh my God. Ten Hag, how can I edit this? Wow. How can I edit the title of this stream? Right, hold on. Right, can anyone type in the chat how they're feeling about this? I knew it was going to get done. Wow. We've finally made the right decision. Come on. Oh my God. I'm literally sweating. I've just been jumping around my room just before I've gone live. Hello, dear. I don't know if you've seen the breaking news over the past 3 minutes. We've finalized Ten Hag. Come on. We've finalized Ten Hag. We've finalized it. We've done it. We've finally made the right decision. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Thomas will be joining. Just like he's walking home from work currently as we're speaking right now. Ten Hag is up to 4 years. Yeah. Let me share the news with you. Hold on. This is my private account, I think. David Ornstein, this is my retweet. I don't know. I don't know if it's behind a paywall or not. No, it isn't. Right. Well, let me share the news to the actual article. Give me a second. Manchester United reached. This is within the last few minutes. Manchester United reached agreement in principle with Erik ten Hag to become new manager. Manchester United have reached an agreement in principle with Ten Hag to become their new manager. The Athletic understands. It's believed to be a verbal agreement. He is expected to join on a contract to run up to 4 years. Ajax are aware of the situation, still need to reach a deal with United. Which news we will speak about, and I will speak about in a minute with Thomas. I don't know whether he's seen news from last night. News that Rio Ferdinand spoke about. Let me get myself on here. News that Rio Ferdinand spoke about, and someone else, a journalist, has spoken about. And Jaap Stam has also made a comment today about it. So it's good news, man. It's good news. Hold on, I've just took myself off there again. It's good news in a time, in a few days where we've been feeling very, very down. The title of this video, obviously, I've just changed it to Ten Hag Break News, which I will change to Ten Hag Breaking News. Watching United the other day was like watching a shadow of the club. It was like watching something else. So we needed this news, regardless of when it's broke, whether they've done it now on purpose or not. I'm very, very glad. Let me just say, I would not have minded Pochettino. Not at all. I would have backed him. Would have backed any manager. I would have bloody backed Sean Dyche, bloody Sam Allardyce, anyone. But in my opinion, Erik ten Hag is the man to take us forward. I'm stuck with which assistant coach I want. I'm really, really cautious on Van Persie. Jaap Stam, I would desperately want Jaap Stam, and he's put himself available today. There's someone else as well. There's Steve McLaren who I would want, but I'm not sure whether right now he's the best man. Felt so down after the Everton game. Now see a small ray of hope for our club. Oh my God, I cannot believe it. Like I'm so glad. I'm so glad. There's Rennie Mullenstein as well, who obviously speaks very well. Just dreaming of the last minute Harry Maguire winner at Anfield before he came live. I'm buzzing now. Oh my God. I will be screaming down the camera on the next Devils it will be in 2 weeks. I will be doing it, or I may do if we win. I'll probably do a live stream of Chill Vibes on Wednesday if we win. I would scream down the camera in all ways. I would say I've never doubted Harry Maguire, obviously joking and things like that. I can't believe it, Ten Hag. I cannot believe it. I can't. Funnily enough, I'm going to show you something that I've just put on my Snapchat. This is 23 minutes ago. Let me cover my name. Let me cover my name. This is 23 minutes ago. Bear in mind, the news broke 8 minutes. The news broke 8 minutes ago. 8 or 9 minutes ago. I put that on 23 minutes ago. And to make it look like that I knew, as a joke, I screenshotted it and said, I told you 8 minutes ago. Oh my God. I can't believe it. Manchester United. I'm going to tweet Manchester United have made a very good decision here. So excited for the future. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I can't wait. The Ornstein exclusive made me come. Oh my God. We will be speaking about the Premier League game week the Premier League game week. I'm waiting for Thomas to get home currently. And then I'm not going to end the live stream. Although people will have to bear with me because I'm 99.9% sure there will be connection issues. As Thomas's camera's broke on his phone, so he may not be able to use it. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I apologize. I am quite lost for words. Here. I've just seen Dia like my post on Twitter. I can't honestly, I'm lost for words because it's almost like I'm psychic. Like I actually put on my Snapchat story a Ten Hag picture with a timer, and then it happened. I will be reading the article out. I'm not sure whether Thomas has seen the news, but I can't wait to see. I can't wait to speak to him about it. Right. We'll go back. We'll go into chill vibes as we're waiting. As it's basically chill vibes right now, except excited vibes. No. I actually think he'll play McTominay. You know, I actually do think he'll play McTominay. He's a squad player, let's be honest. But we missed someone like McTominay the other day. We very much missed him. I tell you what, and I'm going to be honest with the 4 people that are in here and anyone who watches on a video, this has actually been today, not just because of the news. I will speak about why else as well. This has actually been one of the best days that I've had in weeks, if not months. I've been meaning, I've spoke about it on my private account. I've been meaning to get my theory test, start revising. And obviously, you know, like, I don't know if people know, I'm like, I build things up in my head and then it gets so much to the point where I never do it. And I actually started revising for it today. Well, I did a mock test today. So that's a very productive thing to do. Live streaming as well is very productive. The Ten Hag news, that's 3 good things. Watching football with my uncle were 4 good things. And I've been very tired and full of a cold as well. So it's a very productive day. Pineapple says, hi, Pineapple. Hope you're well. I can't believe the breaking news. I cannot believe it. Well, obviously, I do believe it. I mean, I can't believe it as in it's happening. It's actually happening. It's genuinely happening. Ornstein, you know my thoughts on Ornstein. I spoke about Ornstein on my private account, and I think he's a very, very good journalist. Not only his like articles and things, the way he speaks, the timing of how he does it, I feel is very good. And obviously including the articles in that. For me, he's the creme de la creme of sports journalism up there right now for me with Andy Mitten, Fabrizio Romano, Laurie Whitwell. He's up there, like he's in the tier of where he can't really be touched, if that makes sense. With Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein, Laurie Whitwell, Andy Mitten. There's 4 for me. There's probably more, but there's 4 for me. Ten Hag could be the next debut. I'm not sure about that. I trust Fab and Ornstein the most. I agree. Ducker, I think Ducker's just a tier below. Personally, obviously, who am I to say? That's just my opinion, though. Ten Hag, I can't believe it. There's 8 people in here. We will get into the Premier League game review when Thomas comes back. When Thomas comes back from work. Massive step forward to the club. Need a chance for Ten Hag first. All I can say right now is Eric Ten Hag ran away. Nice Ronnie picture. Yeah, it's from visuals.baz. Sorry, visualsbybaz.shop. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Well, clear, mate. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Not just because of the news, which we will speak about in a second. Before we're going to speak, I'm going to be honest. We're going to speak about the news more than we're going to speak about any of the Premier League games. I've had a very good day. I've started revising my driving theory test, which I'm not sure if you've seen. I put it on my private account. Also, the news, the Ten Hag news. And I know, obviously, you've had fears over the past few weeks that we might go for Pochettino. Give me all of your thoughts. Bombard me with all of your thoughts.
Jesus, right. Okay. Yeah, I remember when it was officially braked. I think it was ESPN broke it about a week ago, roughly, a few days ago. And I remember you DMing me saying, you know, about all the news. I was like, yeah, but that's brilliant because I always hoped that we get Eric Ten Hag. And I was just had a fear in the back of my mind that we were going to go for Poch because he pleased the Glazers more so than Ten Hag would. And to have it official by someone as credible as David Ornstein and all these people, it's a massive boost, you know. But thing is, yeah, of course I'm excited as all of you are, as of course you are. But immediately at this time, it's all about this is like a first small step towards something great, and hopefully this is the thing that will spearhead our a great decision making in the future and hopefully dominate football once again.
Oh, I completely agree. Obviously, there's so much to get into, and you. I'll be honest, you watch Ajax more than me probably, and you watch a lot more European football more than me. I am what some La Liga fans will call a prem tad. But
Yeah.
I can't lie, I'm very excited from what I've seen.
Yeah.
And I did a little thread on my private account. I'm gonna try and find it. Just give me a second. I'll have to take my account off private in order to find it. Just give me a second. How can I search my own tweets on Twitter on like a website? Do you know? Because I did a thread and I'm not sure if you've seen the thread. I think you might have. However, it's just speaking. Before I'll try and find it at some point. But what it's basically saying is Man United 5, Liverpool 0. Man United 4, City 1, Man United 2, City 0. Man United 0, City 2. And all the bad results we've had this season, including the bad result last weekend. We've had all of that, and it's broke us as fans. And people have seen me over the past few weeks, and I'm not the same. I don't feel the same. But I'm very positive for the future with Ten Hag. I'm very, very positive. There's a lot of things that need to be changed in the club. It's very clear how much needs to be changed. Let's be honest. But I will always speak about Solskjaer as a manager too, because people can say move on, but I don't want to move on because I did have a dream there because he's our club legend. But I'm also very positive for the future. Now,
yeah,
obviously, we've still got the Glazers in charge, and we can rant about all that and things like that. But we can only be positive about this manager now, about Ten Hag now. Obviously, we've got Ralph, and we know what they're doing to Ralph. These players, they're bloody turning on Ralph. I don't think he'll have any of it. I don't think Ten Hag will have any of it. I think there's a lot of signings that need to be made. But I'm going to give an unpopular opinion here, and I'm not sure you may agree with this, and people may agree with this. The footballing structure that we now have in place, what there's one piece missing, in my opinion, which I will speak about in a second. Murta, Fletcher, regardless of who Murta went university with, Murta, Fletcher, Ralph obviously is in the club, regardless of reports that he might not be working too much. I'm feeling at the moment, which you will be leaving, feeling at the moment. So there's 4 there, and I'm not sure whether obviously there's more people involved than I assume there is. So them 4 people and Richard Arnold as well, we have to give him credit for making this right decision, regardless of whether the Glazers employed him. I think it's a good footballing structure. I think Paul Mitchell, in my opinion, will complete this footballing structure. Do you agree with that?
I don't actually. Funny enough, I don't want to be a buzzkill, but I do not. I've never agreed with John Murta and Darren Fletcher and feeling all these higher ups in this footballing structure that we have now, because I don't actually think it's true. I mean, and of course I'd love to be carried away with the hope that ever since these certain people came into power, or was put into a role of power, sorry, in the club a year ago, that we're going to start making radical changes, and like I said previously, we can push to be on top of football again. But genuinely, because I know what you said there, you acknowledged that John Murta, it doesn't really matter who went to university with, but I think it does, because I don't believe he'd have the role he would, or the position he would in this club, if it wasn't for certain people that in the club. And same as Darren Fletcher. I mean, a year ago, Darren Fletcher was at the club and studying his coaching badges, and now he's successfully made, but he's just made his he's making such key decisions about our future as a technical director or coach, whatever the fuck he is. I know I took the piss out of him last week about being the first ever director of football to receive a yellow card in the game, because he should not be on the pitch. He's a director of football, apparently, or a coach. I don't know what he is still, and no one else does. But so I do acknowledge there is a structure of some sort. It's not up to par with what we should have.
No, yeah.
But definitely, if we get someone like Paul Mitchell, who's just, I think he terminated his contract mutually with Monaco, who has a great CV, great footballing background. He's built clubs I think he's at Spurs, Monaco, Leipzig, and obviously Ralph has the connections. And we've seen the pictures a few months ago of them two watching the under 23 game, under 18 game was one of them.
Yeah.
And obviously that's sent Twitter and the likes into meltdown. But Paul Mitchell, listen, I think it makes so much sense, and it's such a sense of signing, and it could be key, like I said, crucial to our future. He's a Manchester lad, I believe, and of course
I didn't know he was from Manchester.
he's a Manchester lad because I remember when all the reports were coming out, and there were some certain reports saying, "Oh, he's just visiting family in Manchester," so he just decided to drop up to the game. But obviously, Ralph knows him well, and Ralph is well known that he gave his word in Ten Hag when he was asked and approached about the manager who should be in summer, and he did say Ten Hag. He's a firm believer in Ten Hag. So with all that in mind, and it seems like Richard Arnold is going to be. I was hoping for him to be a different, not a BTEC Ed Woodward. He's this is the first decision he's made, and it's been a very good one. I just really hope that he follows through with this and supposedly gives this power, footballing decisions power to the footballing people. You know.
I agree with that. I will get into the comments now, so I don't get too behind because I got very behind last night. I don't know if you've seen. Fabrizio tapping soon. No Fabrizio Romano disrespecting this streams. I have a lot of respect for Fabrizio Romano. Massive step forward for the club. Oh, we've read that. Nice Ronnie picture. Yeah, visuals by Baz.shop. Abdullah A1 says, hi guys, big up to bro. Big up to you, bro. I 90% Eric Ten Hag. Here we go. I'm very excited. I can't wait. Because obviously we were going to go live at 6:30, and I do want to apologise to you, Thomas. I sent you a DM which could be perceived quite rude. I basically said,
No.
come live ASAP. So I do want to apologise for that. Obviously, I was really excited. It was very impulsive of me, so I do apologise.
I understand completely. No, don't apologise. I understand. Yeah.
Appreciate that. People are saying hello. Potter's the better option. Ten Hag is.
No, I'm not.
I know he's trolling though. Yeah. All right. I will actually before I have spoken about this thread, but let me just get this thread up. I have got the thread up. Hold on. Sorry, let me just get it up because I did have it up a second ago. I don't apologize for that. Give me 1 second because I want people to give the thoughts on this thread. It's a very small thread. It's just my thoughts. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 5, Manchester United 0, Manchester City 2, Manchester United 1, Manchester City 4. Everyday leaks and negative stories, many more bad results and poor performance. This season has broken me as a fan. I'm positive for the future though, obviously with a picture of Eric Ten Hag. You can tell it's my private account because he's only got 3 likes. It's truly broken me. I know it's also horrible watching it on TV, but being there, obviously, I was there at Old Trafford while Scousers are singing "Ollie's at the Wheel" about our club legend. Being there last week, this game was against Leicester. I was talking about was awful. It was almost apathy and tiredness of how bad we are. It's like watching it fall apart, and there's nothing you can do about it. I cried after that Liverpool loss. I know it was the beginning of the end for my dream for us too. I'm absolutely positive about the future with Eric Ten Hag and our new structure, though. We'll always miss Ollie and think, what if though? You can say move on, but I won't. I don't want to. Which hold on, I apologize there. Right, that is my thoughts. Obviously, in general, there's so much more to it. Obviously, finally have a ball manager. I've been bald in my lifetime, believe it or not. I will never show a picture of me bald unless it's for bloody a load of money because I'm never embarrassing myself like that. But yeah, Diego C. Palace says, thanks for the breaking news. Thank you to everyone for watching as well. But obviously, thank you to David Ornstein if by some miracle you ever see this. Thank you to David Ornstein. Kazma Shubianu. Who is that? We can finally focus on signings now. Paul Mitchell for Director of Football and Fletcher to learn. Don't trust Fletcher. I don't trust him too much, but Ralph is the reason we're getting Ten Hag. I think that you think Donny will get a chance now. I do think Donny will get a chance as many jokes as I've made about him and as much as I've doubted him. And I will continue to make jokes about all of our players. I do think he'll get a chance and I think he'll play some good football. Potch lovers in the mud. Well, I think kind of, yeah, but we can just we can all back Ten Hag now, I hope. Well, I certainly will. gonna get the marching bands, balloons, the bus, all the items we need. The parade in Manchester in 2025 is gonna be massive. We should buy shelves from Newcastle. I both hope the stream is going well. Ornstein clear for Bristol. Look at your thumbnail on this stream. Let me just refresh my phone and see. It's just it just shows my hold on. It just shows my logo. So I'm not sure which one you mean. Right. Before we get into any Premier League game week, if you're available to speak right now, because I'm not sure if you know you're muted right now.
Oh yeah, I was.
I apologize. Are you able to speak?
Yeah.
All right. Before we get into any Premier League game week game, what do you think? Obviously, we've just spoken about we've just had the excitement of Erik ten Hag. Calming down a little bit. What do you think genuinely Erik ten Hag can bring this season? I'm not talking about I'm talking about expectations, but in general, what do you think he can bring?
Yeah, it's interesting because I think the sky's the limit with Ten Hag as a manager. I mean, I think everyone knows that he's probably the best up and coming manager in the world, and I know a lot of people have scrutinized him and sort of tarnished his name by calling him. Oh, he's younger. He's older than Poch, so he's not an up and coming manager. But in terms of managing, he is, because he gained the experience at Bayern Munich. He went to Twente as a manager, or sorry, as a player. He was playing there at Twente. He helped Steve McLaren and the likes when he was getting older. He went on to manage. I think he was a manager of Go Ahead Eagles. He done a decent job there. Then he went to FC Utrecht and he done very good there as well. And then he got the Ajax job then, or the Bayern Munich 2 job in the reserve. The reserve team of Bayern Munich in the third division. And Pep really liked him and sort of helped him along with his career, definitely. And then he decided then to take the Ajax job, which is has become, or is the other way around, I can't remember. But it's obviously become revolutionary for Ajax after they're such a well-known club for developing brilliant players and then selling them on. When it comes to their own Dutch players or South Americans or South Americans or African players, they're fantastic. And the fact he's sort of taken this on board, he has, and has been able to make 2 brand new teams after selling his core players. It's quite truly phenomenal. And he sold one of them in Donny van de Beek to us, who's become he sort of destroyed his career. He's not going to get them 2 years back, but I think he will flourish under Ten Hag. And
can I just interrupt you for a second as well?
Yeah, of course. Go on.
I'm going to make a really weird, it's a really strange point here, and I think it went very under the radar with what point I'm going to make. And me and my uncle kept making this point during lockdown. Luke Shaw last season, and I know you love Luke Shaw. He was very, very good last season. At the start of last season, he had a child. His partner had a child, which is a fact. And in my opinion, that may have changed him as a man in the sense of what's the word for growing up? Matured. He's matured. Yeah, and he's matured and he's got even better and he's motivated even more. Donny van de Beek has just had a child over the past few days with Estelle Bergkamp. Yeah. What's his name? Bergkamp's daughter.
Dennis.
Dennis, that's it. Dennis Bergkamp's daughter. And maybe that will motivate him even more. I apologise if I've interrupted your train of thought. I just want people to think about that a little bit.
Yeah. That's a very good point, actually. I haven't thought about that. I'm very sad that that young Bergkamp is, or young Donny's young son, I think is his son. He's a Scouser, which I'm not happy about at all. He's born in Liverpool. Anyways, he's going to be a United legend for us. Don't worry. But in regards to that is a very good point on Luke Shaw. And the thing is, he's coming up to the prime of his career, or he is in his prime of his career. So it is quite interesting that point of view, and I never thought about that actually. But hopefully Donny is 24, 25 now. He's coming into his prime as well. Maybe it'll be the same effect, or like you said, maybe it'll motivate him. And Donny strikes me as a very professional, motivated. I was going to say young player, but he strikes me as that type. He's a very modern footballer, and I really think he's going to get he's finally going to get his chance after 2.5, 3 years. He's going to get his chance at United, and Ten Hag, who better than to bring in the manager who made him and grew him as a player than the man himself, Ten Hag. So I don't have high hopes for this next season. I think we're going to be finishing Europa League or Champions League maybe at a push for, purely because we still have the players that are snakes in the dressing room, and he
Yeah.
won't. I don't think he'll be able to get rid of half of them because big egos, big names, and that's why I think there's just certain players that won't be able to leave, and he won't be able to sign as much as he wants. But
He
I
has.
really hope he signs. Yeah,
I have been excited to talk about this with you actually to get your point of view. And over the
yeah,
past few days, where even myself, I panicked a little bit. I wasn't public about it on Twitter. I panicked a little bit. I'm not sure whether you did when there was news about all Leipzig are in for him.
yeah.
These clubs, it could be being stalled a little bit, and I was a little bit nervous. I'll give my what the exact situation that happened. I was reading about Ten Hag wants like sort of control of transfers and players that are in and out, etc., etc. And that's from Fabrizio Romano, and we spoke about this yesterday on Devil's Digest. My uncle sort of was really glad about that, saying that's something which Solskjaer never had, which Mourinho didn't even have, which Moyes definitely didn't have, and which Van Gaal never really had. And by the way, congratulations, and I'm really glad about Van Gaal, how he's got better. His cancer treatment has been successful, which is really good. I'm glad about that. Now, he will have full control or some form of control of transfers, and he wants to be working alongside Ralph. This is he wants his team with Ralph to be similar to his team with Overmars, which is from Fabrizio Romano. That's from obviously a very reliable source. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I really do hope he does get like the power that he deserves ultimately. Purely because, and I know you mentioned Van Gaal there, and congratulations to him. He's probably my favorite manager since Sir Alex. So thank God, he's okay now. But yeah, you already mentioned all the managers we had after Sir Alex, and none of them had the power to in the transfer market as they would like. Sorry. So I was very hopeful that story came out. And I think Ten Hag, like you said towards the start there, with me, that Ten Hag doesn't strike you as the type of person that will take any shit. Like he would find a way to end it. And I really hope he is like that because he does strike me as that as well, sort of character. But I just don't believe. I don't really believe that story because he wants to come here, and I'd never believe the Leipzig rumor. I don't think Leipzig were actually the team that wanted him. Funny enough. And I know a lot of people said Dortmund, but Marco Rose is doing a great job there at Dortmund. To be fair, he's in second place now. I just do not believe that. I don't believe Leipzig want it because they sacked Jesse March, who's gone to Leeds. Oh, they brought someone else in. I can't remember his name, but he's done very well there as well. He's almost like brought a shipwreck back to top of the city, but. Yeah, I never believed any of the rumors, and I genuinely thought the only threat to us was either PSG or Man City or Liverpool, who if they decided to if they decided to split ways with their managers, tell Ten Hag, oh, just stay there for one more year, and we'll bring you in the summer,
Yeah.
in a year's time. So I'm very thankful that we got this over the line, and to be fair, we were very unlucky. I remember when Sir Alex got sacked, or sorry, get sacked, he retired. There was actually no top quality managers out there because they all pre-agreed deals. I mean, Sir Alex famously went to New York to meet with Pep, and Pep was going to Bayern Munich. Jose was going to Chelsea, or he's going to Real. I think he's going to Real or he's going to Chelsea. So there's not really any top class managers available, or even Carlo Ancelotti. I think was going somewhere as well. So we did have to go with Moyes. But this time around, we have finally got that manager that was actually available, and that could has the potential as well to be one of the best in the world, and arguably is one of the best in the world, to be honest. At the moment. But yeah, I really hope he does get the back in and the likes because
Yeah.
it's so important that we get it now, and that he gets it now because it's make a break time for the Glazers, I think, as well. If they sign Pochettino and they told him you're only signing two players for a lot of money, I'm convinced there would have been protests and the likes. But I think this Ten Hag deal is sort of quiet down movements like that
It was
because
very
he was
needed
just the
as
right
well
option.
in a week where
Yes, yeah,
there's rumours about well, there seems to be a protest on Saturday, which
yeah,
I'm still not sure whether I'm going to. I'm not sure. Like, if there's a protest that I'm available to go to and that is planned properly, and there's no threat of like it going wrong or anything like that, I will go to. However, some people, I've not heard anything personally, but some people have heard things where they're saying it may go wrong, or some things that shouldn't happen may happen. So if that's the
yeah,
case, I will go to the game as I normally go to the game. Obviously, I will protest against the Glazers if I want, like, if it's if it's necessary, if you know what I'm trying to say, don't you? If
yeah,
there's
of
a
course.
protest planned, but I'd rather stay physically safe than protest at the point of that situation. Do you know what I mean? Um,
Yeah,
but if people want to protest, that is their that is our situation, I guess. Hi guys, big up to you both, 100%. Eric Ten Hag, here we go. Yep, we've now had news from Fabrizio Romano over the past 20, it's not even 20 minutes, is it? 8 minutes ago. Sources close to David Ornstein report. Let me just share my screen. I nearly ended the stream then. Apologise. Sources close to Eric Ten Hag confirmed David Ornstein report. His appointment as new Manchester United manager is at final stages. Nothing signed yet. Backroom staff to be decided. No announcement expected this week. Ajax and Manchester United will be in contact about 2 million clause. The rumours are that they won't have to pay that clause. That's from Rio Ferdinand yesterday. Because of United's relationship with Ajax and with Van der Sar, they're going to reach an agreement where they may not have to pay that clause. Obviously, I have no idea. I don't mind whether they have to pay a bloody £1.6 million clause. It's necessary. Sakina, I never know how to pronounce the name when you talk about her. Serena Karashawi starts for the France national team tonight. Hopefully, she has a good game. You won't catch me out there. Simon Stone Simon Stone said something. I do apologise to everyone, including you, Thomas. We will get into the Premier League games. I'm just checking if Simon Stone has said something. Yeah, Manchester United manager search is described to be in advance. It's obviously getting close, he said. Mauricio Pochettino will become the new manager of Manchester United. He was signed 3 years, possibly even 4. He'll earn the highest salary of Dutch manager. You've messed up your copy paste, mate. Ajax's final is this week, I believe. So next week could be. I would prefer
yeah.
the announcement not to be next week, to be honest, because they won't. I don't know if they can win the league straight away. Can they win the league this week or next week? I would prefer it to be when they
I
win
think
the
it'll be
league.
announced early May.
Yeah. And that's what I would want. Obviously, I'm a United fan, and what I care about number one is Man United. But I like to think of Ajax as the classic club, and I don't think they do it to us. So I wouldn't want to do it to them. I wouldn't want to disturb their season. And I know football sort of dog eat dog, but I don't want to sort of do it to them. I like Ajax. My private Twitter is private Kean20. I don't know whether I've got message requests open. I'll turn message request on now, and then we'll get into the Premier League game week review. Right. And we will speak about everything, including United. The Newcastle Wolves game number 1 that we could have taken advantage of. Chris Wood penalty, and Newcastle played very well. I weren't surprised that they won this game. Wolves obviously are a good team, but Eddie Howe is really getting the best out of this team, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, to be fair, but I'm not surprised because I mean he's playing with players at his level. Like I've already said before on the show. As soon as he starts getting players that are better than him, he's gone. They're upgrading the manager. I think if they will upgrade the next year or two, this season was perfect for him to come into. You see Steve Bruce got sacked, and they're foot of the table, and they've got almost £100 million spent on them. With signing very good players with potential, and in Bruno Gomes and the likes, but they're even like that, like Dan Bourne and Trippier and all. They're just solid players. And obviously Trippier has international experience, Champions League experience. He's won stuff. He hasn't actually. Yeah, he won La Liga with Atletico. And just them type of players are just perfect because they'll finish mid-table. I think they're 13, 14 now, and that's where they'll finish, And the next season they'll push for a Conference League place. Then better windows means better managers, means better chance of winning stuff. So I think Eddie Howe will he'll do well for next year or two, but he'll be unemployed in that after that.
Yeah. We've got to speak about United, unfortunately, and obviously, as much as we're excited right now, oh man, I was watching it at a pool bar, like with snooker and things like that, and I thought the first 10 minutes we did start well. We had a few chances with Marcus Rashford, and I thought we started well, and then they stopped. It's like they gave up, and that is the title of this. They gave up. They've given up for the past few weeks, but they gave up in this game. Gary Neville. I watched a video of Gary Neville on Sky Sports News, and he was talking about it on it. I think this was from the Gary Neville podcast, and he was saying these players, they've done the same thing to Ralph what they did to Ollie, and regardless of our opinions of Ollie and Mourinho as managers of United, they've done the same thing. They've given up. They've stopped running. They've stopped working hard. He said, "There's a rot in this team. There's a rot in this dressing room. They look like 11 individuals and not a team. They look like they have no idea what to do. They look like they have no idea where to pass to. They look like they have no direction, no plan. And I'm going to use a theme tune from a comedy show, and I've tweeted about it before on my private account. And it's to describe United, and specifically to describe this team. Don't know where we're going, got no way of knowing, driving on the road to nowhere. That is what it feels like with this team. It's honestly like, what are you doing? The bare minimum for United is working hard. First of all, the bare minimum is working hard. Everton run 10 kilometers further than Man United, which is disgraceful. It takes me back to when they beat us 4-0 and they run 20 kilometers further. It felt like that as well. That's first of all, the bare minimum is working hard. And number two, why have they stopped? Ralph, this isn't Ralph's fault. Ralph is just another victim of this squad, if you like. This squad did the same thing to Ollie, and we haven't had this manager bounce. We've had some good games where we played well, but have things really improved since Ollie's gone? No. These players, either 50% of them don't work hard and don't care about the club and are not committed to the club, and 40% of them are just not good enough. Just not absolutely not good enough. It's not good enough. From obviously, you could go right through the team. You could go right through it. I'm going to go through this starting 11 and say whether they're good enough based on this season specifically. I don't like to be reactionary, but based on this season specifically, De Gea, yes, for the way we've played this season. Lindelof, no. Maguire, no. Tellez, definitely not. Wan-Bissaka, definitely not. Marcus Rashford, definitely not. That's 6 that are not good enough. Fred, 1, yes. Bruno, yes. 2. Jadon Sancho, yes. 3. Nemanja Matic, no. That's 7. Cristiano Ronaldo, yes. 4. Yeah, he's 37 years old and probably won't be playing every week, regardless, next season. So that's 7 players out of 11 players, which aren't good enough. And I could say David De Gea may not start under Ten Hag, which he might not. I could say Cristiano Ronaldo might not start under Ten Hag, which he might not. Rashford, from what the news is, he's a key part of Ten Hag's plans. But things have to improve. They have to work hard. None of them ran. Paul Pogba came on. For me, the Paul Pogba substitution. I know Fred was it Fred who was injured, and he came off after 36 minutes. It was. There's no reason Paul Pogba, regardless of his ability, should be playing for this club again. For 6 years, and I spoke about it yesterday, for 6 years, all we've heard is, I might leave, I might not leave. I love Real Madrid. I dream of going to Real Madrid. I want to go back to Juventus. I want trophies. He said this season is dead, and then said we fight till the very last day the other day. And the timing of the things that he said, and the fact that he's not signed a contract by April, you're not committed to this club. You shouldn't be playing. Whether that means McTominay and Fred playing, I know McTominay's injured, but that means McTominay and Fred playing regardless. In my opinion, we missed McTominay the other day. We missed someone who would run for the club, who actually does care. And people can go, oh, it's passion and desire. But when you don't have passion and desire, you're watching a lifeless Manchester United team, which you watched on Saturday, which you're like, this is absolute fucking shit. Like, I can't watch this. It's like I'm debating whether to watch the other games when we're not at home the rest of the season, which I will do. I'll watch them because I can't just stop watching United. I love United, but it's like you absolutely have to try. And we've got youngsters. Not only have we got youngsters there, but we've got very good youngsters there. Armani's just said we have Hannibal. We have Charlie McNeil, who I have mentioned, and in my opinion, is the best youngster in that team, which differs from a lot of people's opinions. So we have Hannibal, we have McNeil, we have Garnacho, we have Kobe Mainu. I think that's how to pronounce it. We have that centre back that we just signed, Toby Collier, is it? We've got James Garner, who's out on loan. For me, I just play the kids. I play the youngsters for the rest of the season. And I know that ain't going to happen, but we've seen this same thing week in, week out with this team. Every single time we've seen it week in, week out. They're not trying. They don't care. There's leaks in the dressing room. They've turned on Ralph again. They're saying they're not happy with his training methods, which I don't know how true that is, because we've heard this with Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, Ole, and Ralph. So I don't know whether that's a media technique or not. But there's a lot that needs to be sorted, and Ten Hag has got a job on his hands, probably the most difficult job in world football. What did you make of the game and everything what I've just said?
I agree with every single thing you said. I mean, I've already said before, I was about to say it until you said there, I would just play the kids. It's actually ridiculous. I mean, at least they'll try. They probably don't necessarily have the talent that we have in our first team squad, but at least they'll fucking try. I think two players tried on the weekend, and that was De Gea, who, to be honest, he wasn't at fault for any of the goals, he wasn't at fault for the goals, sorry. And Fred, even though he got taken off half an hour in, and I didn't even know he was injured. I thought Ralph was just being ruthless and taking players off. I wasn't really sure. Even if he was injured, I would have kept playing him because at least he tried, And it's gone to the point now where it's so sad. I mean, I remember saying, probably one of the first shows I was on, and I was saying, I know you're a big fan of Scott McTominay and Rashford, and I remember saying at the time, I was like, we can't just be, oh, at least you tried, 6 out of 10, play him every week.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the case with McTominay, but it's gone to the point now where I'll start Scott McTominay every game because I know he'll try. And once we get players that will actually try and have talent, then that's where you bring McTominay down a level.
Yeah.
That he's not as important. But Scott McTominay is probably going to be our best player for the end of the season now, purely because he tries. I know he's injured, but same with Fred. It's actually shocking, for a club that's it's arguably the biggest in the world, arguably has the biggest fan base in the world. And the fact that even you have season ticket and a lot of other fans do, and 75,000 fans every single home game, and they're going to put that shit in front of us. I mean, it's ridiculous. What are they thinking? They're so egotistical. They're all on well-inflated money. I remember, I know there's a certain United fan that's on the host the United stand that you don't like, and I understand that. But he made a fantastic point about wages, right? He said that 10 out of 30 of the top best paid Premier League players all play for United. And I think De Gea is the only one that warrants any sort of money, and he should not be on.
I don't even think De Gea. Yeah, I don't think De Gea should be on that. De Gea has been world class this season. Regardless of whether he plays under Ten Hag or not, I don't. De Gea has been world class this season because of how bad our defense has been, and we've needed him to save us a lot, and he has. And obviously, I thank him for that, and I thank him for his 10 years, and I've loved him. I remember the Everton game many years ago. I think it was 2015, and he had one of the best performances I've ever seen from a goalkeeper that game, and I thank him. none of them should be on that money. Have we really got the highest wage bill yet? In my opinion, even if we finish 7th, I'm going to say this: I don't think we've been the 7th best team in this country this season. I'm gonna say something really, really extreme, something that you probably would hear on the United stand, and something which a lot of people won't agree with. But Stephen Howson even said it, and he's on Stratford Paddock, and I really agreed with him. And I've said this for way longer than when he said it. When we are playing shit, which is 99% of the time, we would not beat Salford City. We would not beat Altrincham. We would not beat. We can't break a team down. We can't even create chances. I'm going to give an example of the Liverpool City match. So it's gone 2-1 City. You trust in Liverpool to create chances at least and try and get back into it. With United, you have 10 good minutes, if that, and then you're begging that you score in them 10 minutes. Because what I say when I'm watching the game is we're going to go back into our shell. We're going to go right back into our shell and never come out of it again in this game. And it's like we can't break a team down. We can't defend. We can't have any structure of the team. No structure in midfield. No structure in defence. No structure in the attack. We got Sancho and Rashford swapping when they both started well in the respective on Rashford on the left and Sancho on the right. They both started well against Everton with Rashford on the left and Sancho on the right, in my opinion. We've got Ronaldo dropping deep because he can't get any service, 37 years old, and even he's got some weaknesses to his game now. We've got like what are we realistically? How can we realistically win games towards the end of the season? Because I'm going to ask you a question here, and we play a week today. We play the Scousers. I will play 5 at the back with 3 CDMs like Carrick did against Chelsea. Would you?
It's good. It's funny actually, because it's very tempting. At least the players don't have to try. They can actually just sit there. They don't have to move around really necessarily, do they? They just stand there. I don't know if you watched the Atletico game, but literally we just play that against Liverpool. Just a massive conga line across the pitch. I wouldn't mind it because I know at least you won't get destroyed 5-0 again.
If we get the win,
but
well, it's not even about getting the win, is it? It's about not getting humiliated,
no,
isn't
it really isn't. No. But I know you're saying there about the fact we can't even break teams down. We can't even create chances. And as detrimental as I think Ollie has been to our club, because I think he set us back a few years. Even though he's made great signings, I just think he's created such a soft mentality and given power to players that should not be in power. Cough, cough, Harry Maguire. But as detrimental as he's been, at least he could actually rely and get something out of his team in terms of individual brilliance. The amount of games we were losing up 1-0 or 2-0 at half time last season, and we came back to win it. I got angry as well. I called ourselves Doggy Style FC because we love to get from behind. It was fucking ridiculous. The amount of times we were 1-0 down and then we came back.
Losing positions last season.
I mean, yeah, and we end up to the second. I don't know how we did it. I'm surprised we didn't do it in the Europa League final either, but even then we got a draw goal out of nothing, We relied on so much on individual brilliance, and even towards when Ollie got sacked, when the players just gave up, which is, you should never do that under a manager, but they did it anyway. The fact that they don't even like Ralph at all and the style of football that Ralph sort of had to revert back to how Ollie played and just literally just play this shit football. I don't even know what it is. It's not even a style of football. It's just like a watching the league game.
We've lost our identity of the way we play it. Like if I ask you or if I ask my uncle or even if I ask my bloody self, how do I think we're going to play on Saturday against Norwich? Say, fuck no, I don't have any idea. More than likely going to play rubbish, but I don't really know how we're going to play because we play almost. It's very weird the way we play. It's almost like we just don't move every single week. It's like, and it is like that. It's like some weeks you're like, yes, we've done well. We got Ronaldo got a hat trick against Spurs. Ronaldo's got a brace against Arsenal, and it's like, but we're not playing well. We're not. We're so far behind, in my opinion. Like, and I want to. I will always hope. I will always hope against. We're gonna like. I hope we get top 4, which is very, very difficult now. It's almost over. But how can I hope when I've seen the same thing every single week since the end of August? This for me is worse than the Moyes season. It's worse than the Van Gaal season.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
worse than Mourinho season. Worse than any Ollie season. Obviously, Ollie was here till game week 12. And the players have had time to change it. Game week 12, Ollie left. Game week 12, they can't come out and say Ollie's the problem. Now, they can't come out and say we're not happy with Ollie's training methods. But they can come out and say with Ralph's the problem.
Yeah.
Which one is it? Who is it that's the actual problem?
Yeah,
Because there's a common denominator and it's these players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a big point here, right? And I agree with everything you just said there because it leans up to this point. Do you know what our lowest point tally is ever? Any Premier League season?
I don't know the exact tally, no. I think it was under Moyes, though.
We got 63 points in 13-14 season. In the when we finished third, in halfway through it was COVID, NHS, Martial, all that, right? And we got the Europa League semi-final. We got 64, I think. We just about better by a point. Last season we got early 70s. It was quite worrying. How many points do we have now? I think we have 51. With how many games left? 7, 8.
That door just made me jump. If anyone else heard that, I'm just getting the table up now. We have 51.
So if 7, 8 games to get 12 points. Do you think that's doable?
Yeah. Not with this team, and not with the games we've got. I don't trust us to beat Norwich. We'll probably make hard work of that. And I'm very positive, and I will end this season. And obviously, towards the end of the last live streams and things like that on this channel, I'm definitely going to end it extremely positive. And I'm going to make some very bold predictions and things like that. And just completely ridicule myself if I ever come back at my own predictions. And I will be positive, but there's not much reason I can be positive right now. Like obviously with Ten Hag, I can be positive. And I'm actually gonna message the person tonight, which I want to do. I want to do a tactics video with. He knows a lot more than me about tactics, and I know barely anything about the tactical side of the game. But I can imagine people that do, especially when you're watching United. It's very frustrating because obviously you're seeing things which people like me won't see. But yeah, it's very frustrating. I'm going to try and move on from United in a second. I do need to reply to a text message, so can you just give me 10 seconds? It's just quite an urgent text message. Just give me 10 seconds. I need to just let someone know that I might be down a little later for my tea. My uncle, I need to let him know. Then I do apologise. I just do need to
No problem.
Right. I've replied. Right. On to the other games. In fact, we'll get into the comments first. Right. Arsenal have Ajax have a cup final and our 4 on Sunday, and our 4 points clear of PSV with 4 games left. I still wouldn't like if it was United and if it was under. I don't know if it's under anyone, and we're getting a new manager and we're about to win the league or whatever. I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it done to us. So I wouldn't like it done to Ajax. If it was Barcelona and we're taking a manager off Barcelona, yes, because of how corrupt Barcelona is. But Ajax are a very classy club. For me, they're up there with Bayern Munich in terms of how classy they are. So I wouldn't like it done to Ajax, not at all. Chelsea are playing about 4 Hala Madrid. I do actually hope Madrid win tonight. It was a very good game last week. When Everton scored, they started doing shite. De Gea always had to come out after a shocking defeat and speak to the press. My captain, the rest can fuck off. Yeah. We have Hannibal and other youngsters, and they bought on a player who doesn't want to be here and Matter. Yeah, even Matter like. I still stand by the point. If Matter had legs, he would be one of the best players in the world. I stand by that opinion. I don't care what anyone says. It's not up for discussion to change my opinion there. But with Matter, he loves the club. He loves the city in the sense of he loves Manchester. He wants to be here. He's done a lot for the club. And in my opinion, keeping him around this season, I know people can say, no, like, oh, you're just keeping around the dressing room, etc. But keep it at least a good character, a good person around the dressing room can help in a dressing room full of idiots. especially when there was a certain other winger here, which was an idiot as well. Freddie's class right now. That certain United fan is leaving the United stand soon. I don't think he is. I've seen the tweet, and I just don't think he is. I don't know what it's about, but I don't think he is. But if he does, I'll come back and steal some fans. No, I'm only joking. I'm getting bombarded with notifications right now. I swear, Conference League trophy coming soon. The only reason I hope we finish Conference League is, well, number one, to play the kids. Number two, because of where the final is. It's in Crete and it looks absolutely beautiful. It looks beautiful. Villarreal versus Bayern predictions. Villarreal. Oh yeah, I've seen that. They rotated, including the goalkeeper. They rotated, didn't they? I'm gonna say 4-1 Bayern Munich. What are you gonna predict for that game?
I think Real will shithouse to win there. I think Danjuma. I love Danjuma so much. I love Man United, but I think him or Gerard Moreno will score. It'd be very funny. I think if Villarreal get to the semis and they bet us in the Europa League final, and then they done well against us in the group, and then they somehow shithouse their way to a semis in the Champions League. It'd be fucking brilliant. That's who I'm rooting for in the Champions League this season.
Definitely, I agree. Before we go any further, I would like someone to clip this up as well. Right, clip this up because I want to upload this to Twitter or something like that. To Melly X United on Twitter. You're doing very good work with bearability, and I'm going to shout out bearability. 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 He's doing very well. His past 3 days have been a madness. He's got Little T, who was a certain little lad that got absolutely ridiculed on the internet. He's got him to follow him. Ashley Williams is going to be taking pictures with his clothing line and will be on the Instagram. And he's got some United youngsters and he's got some Crystal Palace youngsters. So clip that up. Bearability on Twitter. Make sure you go and check bearability.com out because Melly United has helped me a lot with just different things. Anything that I need, he's helped me a lot. So massive appreciation to Melly United, and make sure you check Bearability out. Not that many people will watch this, but just go and check him out regardless. Right, Arsenal 1, Brighton 2. And I do apologise to anyone if we go further than the Champions League games. Like if we overrun to 8 o'clock, I will try to end it just before 8, although it may not happen. I'm saying it's unlikely. Game number 2 that we could have took advantage of. Game number 2. Arsenal 1, Brighton 2. Ødegaard scored. I didn't watch the game. This was on at 3 o'clock. I was still out at this point. Trossard and Wepu scored. Brighton, they finally got a win. I still rate Potter, and I don't know why. Arsenal have lost the past 2 games. Does this just make you more frustrated that we've not took advantage?
Definitely. I mean, Arsenal. I mean, it's well known. Them and Spurs. Arsenal and Spurs are just complete bottlers. And I think, in my opinion, we belong in that bracket as well now. And just in terms of bottling games, like we've been doing it. I mean, as far back as I remember, after Sir Alex, just bottling important games, you know. But Arsenal, they got beaten fair and square by Crystal Palace 2 weeks ago. No, last week. 2 weeks ago, yeah. No, it was on Monday, wasn't it? Last week. And then they got beaten again, which I thought was hilarious. But, I mean, they're going to get... Them or Spurs are going to get top 4 anyway. So I don't know why we're looking up. We should be looking at Wolves and teams like this, Leicester, West Ham. That's their level now, you know, for they race to 5th place or 6th place, you know. It's so sad what we've become now. Like, I mean, 4 weeks ago, a month ago, we were talking about finishing 4th, and I remember you saying that we'll get 4th because Chelsea are going to slip up and everything. And I was like, I'll be all for it, but yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not letting you off the hook on that one. That was ridiculous. But we're finishing 7th now, you know. But yeah, listen, I think we could have taken advantage of about 4 games this week, and we just, of course, had to lose to 17th place Everton. But Arsenal will get 4th or 5th. I'm not worried about that at all. We won't be. They won't be dragged down into what we are now. But I still believe they'll finish 4th. You know, I won't be worrying too much. You
know. The work permit is now in process, by the way. The work permit paperwork has been submitted for Ten Hag. Hopefully that comes through. I'm not sure why Van Persie will have an issue with the work permit, which is the news has been. Plus, I'm surprised Van Persie doesn't have a right to stay, as he was here in the UK for 11 years. So I know
Yeah.
we've recently, well, we left the European Union, was it October 31st, 2020. Officially, obviously, we voted to leave in 2016. So I'm not sure why he doesn't have a right to stay. And I've just realised my lighting's terrible. I do apologise. I forgot to turn on my light for the second stream in a row. Chelsea 6, Southampton 0. I'm going to make a very, very unpopular claim right now. I know it's going to be unpopular with any Chelsea fan that watches this, which I don't think many do. Mason Mount is one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. He's been overhated so much. He's now officially got 23 goal contributions in all competitions this season. Direct goal contributions. He's a Champions League winner. He got to the European Championships final. He's been in 6 finals with Chelsea. I think he's underrated personally. What do you think?
Disagree. He is overrated. I mean, sorry.
Oh,
Smith Rowe is better than him. I could sit here for half an hour just naming players that are better than him. I don't rate him at all. I mean, he literally Frank Lampard, I think, is to blame for all the hype he gets. I think because he just loves him and he talks about him as much as he can. I'm convinced when Lampard is, managing fucking Birmingham or Surrey City or something, he's gonna bring Mount in when he's 20, 29, 30.
Like boys with Fellaini.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Like, he's my player. I love Mason Mount. No, I'm convinced he's gonna do it because he's gonna fall off, or he'll stay at Chelsea as this squad player like Loftus-Cheek is. Everyone thought Loftus-Cheek was gonna be class, and I know they're 2 different players with different positions, but I don't think Mason Mount is all that at all. Watch him score 50 goals next season and win the Premier League, win the treble, and win the Ballon d'Or. Big fuck you to Tomas, but I'm convinced that he is not that good at all. He is a good player. I don't think he's this. I know he's got 23 goal involvements. I think he said there, but I mean, he's not that good. I mean, he's probably play for England because Southgate loves him and he loves a lot of his little favourites, But yeah, I don't think he's as good as people.
That's fair. Obviously, we can have different opinions. Leeds 3-0 against Watford. Rafinha getting on the score sheet, who I know you rate a lot. Before we go any further, Rafinha, do you think he'd fit Eric Ten Hag's system?
I think he would actually. Yeah, he has a similar mold of player to Anthony. Obviously, probably Ajax's best player. But things with Ajax, what I love about them the most in their system is and their tactics and all that. They don't have a standout like 1-star player, and they're sold their foot. I think they have a few players, and they're their team as well. Something that we're not at the moment. So I do like that about them. But back to Rafinha. I think Rafinha it's quite sad. I think Rafinha. He's going to Barcelona in summer. I think. And if Leeds get relegated, which apparently there's a release clause. I think everyone knows about that now. He's like £25 million release clause or something like that if they get relegated, which is a very smart, shrewd move by his agent, of course, and he's doing. That's very, very smart. But I think he will 100% leave in this order. I don't see any chance he'll stay at Leeds. And Calvin Phillips is the same. I don't think either are staying at all.
Would you take Calvin Phillips at United if he came to United? Obviously, I know he's Leeds born and bred, and he plays for Leeds. Obviously, would you take him at United?
Listen, they were a bad team. Let's just say when we were winning. We were scammed of a treble in 2008. I mean, we signed Alan Smith from them a few years, a long time ago. Yeah, I liked him as well, Yeah, he's very, very underrated, low key, quite good. I mean, there's plenty of Rio Ferdinand. There's plenty of players who played for Leeds that went on to play for us. Eric Cantona, Dennis Irwin. And I do like Leeds, even though I've said on the show I like them because my granddad supports them, even though they're a big rival. But I mean, I love the Leeds games. I mean, it's our annual bastion of a team that we never do, So it's quite entertaining playing against Leeds, But anyways, Calvin Phillips. I mean, he seems to be like the mold of a Leeds captain. He is Yorkshire, born and bred, and all that. He'd be a very good signing for us. The only thing is with Calvin Phillips, I've kind of criticised us going for him when the rumours were around a few days ago. I remember you were saying that he'd be a very good player for us, and he actually would. I've kind of changed my mind on him a bit, but I still think he's not worth more than 40 million. He's 27 now, I think. I mean, we're looking to. offload him in 3 years, and not make as much as we spent. So, but he is a good player, and he'd be a very good workhorse. He's a good progressor of the ball as well. I think he would be decent for us, and anything would be an improvement on Fred and McTominay at the moment. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. We do need a big window, but I'm so excited, man. I can't get the Ten Hag out of my head right now. Rent free in my head he is. Kenny has predicted 1-0. So it's 1-0 already. The first game was 1-0, wasn't it?
I think it was 1-0, but
Was it 1-0? Yeah. That would
yeah, I
mean
think so.
Villarreal will go through. Villarreal to win the Champions League and knock out Liverpool and City.
Yes,
Pray, man. I
love
pray.
that.
Didn't Mark confirm it. I don't think he did, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. You've got Arsenal, West Ham, Wolves, all dropping points to poor opposition. Then we're going to lose to a side that Sean Dyche said didn't know how to win. Yeah, indeed. I think that probably pushed Everton on a bit. That Sean Dyche saying that. It's like mind games a little bit. Pace and Mount is a very good player, but he's not as good as some people say he is. Nice trim, Manny. Yeah, I seen it. It's nice trim, Manny. Although you don't like it. I know you don't like it yourself, Manny. Watford are finishing 20th. Norwich aren't out. Norwich aren't out yet. But Barber must be brilliant. Trim suits you. Leeds next season they're going down. I won't be surprised. You're gassing it.
Yeah.
You come and get a trim from him. You're gonna book him a flight to Barbados then. Right. Aston Villa 0, Spurs 4. Hat trick from bloody Heung-min Son, and a brace of assists for Harry Kane. You know, I love Kane. Kulusevski, but no, what a player! He's almost revolutionised their attack and brought him a new lease of life. Obviously, I know Son and Kane have got the most goals and goal contributions between them in the Premier League history, but they're almost. They look unbeatable. As in that attack, they look so good. What do you think? What do you think about? Do you think if they sign him permanently, he'll be really good, Kulusevski?
Yeah, I think that deal's done. To be honest, I think Kulusevski, like he's become such an impact player for him. He's playing really well. He's starting to get proper into his stride at Spurs, which I'm not surprised by because I remember saying to you when he signed, and you asked me what you think about him and whether he'll do well, and I predicted that he would because he has the physicality, and in the future, if he does continue at Spurs for the next few years, he'll probably end up being a striker for him because he doesn't seem to be the mold of a winger. He's like 6'1", 2", But he is. Don't get me wrong. He's such a good player. I mean, I didn't actually think he was suitable for Serie A football. He was at was he at Cagliari, was he? And then he went to Juventus. He was at a smaller Italian club, and then he went to Juventus. He didn't really do well at Juventus at all, actually, and then he came to Premier League with Spurs. And I remember that they signed Rodrigo, Bentancur, and Kulusevski, 2 brilliant signings. Looking at it now in hindsight, I wouldn't have minded both of them in the summer, to be honest, on loan. I mean, that is a fantastic bit of business, by the way. They barely spent any money, and they got both of them on loan, with decent buy options, And even if they don't actually sign him permanently, and he turns out to be a third in the next year, they just set in the back, But it's only 40 million, I think. It's quite reasonable for someone of his talent. He has the potential as well. He's always been talked about as this up and coming Swedish winger in Italy. I mean, that Swedish forward line, by the way, Isaac, Kulusevski, and Alanga, they're going to be some future some forward line in the future for Sweden. But Kulusevski, he's quite a good player, and he's turning out to be very good for Spurs. He's getting amongst the goals as well. I thought he was more of an assist man, but he seems to be getting along the goals as well. So.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna hold on. Let me get into the rest of these comments. They're just having a conversation about booking a flight. Spurs are finishing top 4. I believe they will. Do you?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, I know I said Arsenal have a chance, but Spurs have a far better goal difference to do. So I think it's Spurs. Yeah.
Norwich could survive. Not a bad run in for them. The problem is they don't know how to survive. Yeah, they have 3. Oh God. Let's not think about them beating us. Brentford 2, West Ham 0. And Buemo and Tony getting on the score sheet. Tony getting an assist. And I'm gonna make a mental point. I tweeted about us getting Tony. I said I wouldn't mind Harry Kane or Tony. This was Saturday. And yesterday, everyone's bloody talking about Tony to Man United, but I hadn't seen it before my tweet, so I've created something here. Genuinely, I think he's a really good player, and he works hard. if Michael Antonio, and I know I'm just speaking about English and British players here, but just specifically Michael Antonio, because I really love Michael Antonio. If he was younger, I'd love him at United. I think he's a really good player. Ivan Toney, I'd love him at United, and I'm seeing Liverpool fans saying they'd love him at Liverpool. What do you think about Tony? Would you take him at United?
Yeah, I remember I've referenced the past shows so much. I'm sorry, but in a show before this, a while back now, I remember Tony was actually on decent form. He's actually scored like twice in 3 games or something like that. He's all right, like, you know. And they asked me a similar question about Tony as well. Tony's Even Tony seems to be that player that has a knack of scoring. I mean, he's done it in every single league. And I remember I was telling you, I've been following his career since his Peterborough days, and he sort of he's just rising through the ranks. I don't know has he been captain of England yet? I don't think he has actually.
I'm not
Like,
sure. I don't think so.
he should be. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I've seen somewhere he's eligible for Jamaica or one of the South American countries, islands. And imagine him and Antonio up front. Oh my God, for
Yeah, he's not
Jamaica.
been captain for
But
England yet.
yeah, that's mad. He I think he's 26, 27 now. He's kind of in his prime in a way. I think I'd give him another season in the Premier League, see if he can actually consistently do well. But I don't think he's the United mold striker. No, that's not what I meant. I mean, like, we do need a different orthodox kind of striker. Like a Darwin Nunez, someone different that offers something different. I don't think even Tony is that though. I'm afraid.
My first choice striker is
Purely,
Darwin Nunes. From watching a
yeah,
lot of
same
I
with me
made
too,
this
man.
decision. Yeah, I made this decision
Yeah,
2 days ago, and I
yeah,
still know nothing. Basically, next to nothing. I've not watched much of him at all. But
yeah,
from I've seen a few Benfica fans speaking to Alexi MUFC Red Army on Twitter, and I've seen some clips of him as well. And he's not just a good striker, but he's almost like Cavani. And in my opinion, Cavani, when fit and available, I'm just going to go back to Cavani last season. Forget about Cavani now. Like Cavani last season, in my opinion, is the perfect striker for us. As a footballer, like an actual footballer, not just as a striker. In my opinion, I'll get completely the opposite to Lukaku, for example. I would love Cavani, a younger version of Cavani, for example.
yeah.
And in my opinion, Nunes is that. Although I wouldn't mind Ivan Toney, but I like Cavani a lot, and I like Nunes a lot from what I know, and I
Yeah.
would like to learn more about him. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, and your point of Cavani, it's quite sad. He's kind of the perfect striker in a way for us. It's just a shame that I used to love him last season. I thought I absolutely loved him. I raved so much about him. I love him. This season, he's left a bad taste in the mouth, and I really dislike him now purely because he doesn't care. He wants to stay in Uruguay. Whenever he goes in Uruguay, you're not getting him back for the next 2 weeks. He's injured. Like, I just don't like him. But listen, we have to get rid of him. He's moving on next few months. And I wish him, I thank him for he's got quite crucial goals. But in terms of Darwin Nunez, he's a very good striker. And the only thing with Nunez is I don't think there's a chance for signing him purely because we can't guarantee him a starting spot, and he needs that in his development. He's 22 now. And we can't guarantee that Champions League football that he probably wants. Like, I think Arsenal have a better chance than signing him, 100%. And I think I've seen an article saying that United, Chelsea, and Atletico Madrid are looking at him, or Barcelona, something like that. He suits them more than us, because because Ronaldo is going to be still here. I don't think Ronaldo will actually go anymore. I know I said before, if you don't get a chance in football, he's going. I don't think he'll actually care. To be honest, he's 37, or if he does go, he'll probably go to Sporting or something like that, or PSG if they can afford him. They probably could. But I don't think he's actually going anywhere, Ronaldo. And it's a shame that we can't get Nunez because I really think he's going to be the next big striker of Europe, alongside Haaland and Mbappe, because he has everything, and he does remind you of Cavani with his movement and he has. I mean, in the future, he's going to be unstoppable. He's going to have everything, no weaknesses. And I really like the style of football. I mean, he can play in the wing as well. He's a very good baller. But I think the striker we're going to sign in the summer is probably going to be like a Jonathan David or someone that's more up and coming, so younger.
Do you rate David?
That's my opinion. I do actually. Thing is with Jonathan David, he's at Genk a few years ago. I thought we should have signed him then at like 25, 30 million. He's up and coming Canadian striker. Not a lot of people knew about him, but he was still kind of known. And he went to Lille and he's just skyrocketed. I mean, the year they won the Ligue 1 last season, he wasn't really amongst the goals. He wasn't really that productive. But this season, he sort of found his way. The only thing is, his career trajectory, sorry, and his path has been in Belgium and France. And at 22, it's not really. You'd want him to go to a better quality league and prove it. And I think, but I still think he could do it at United, to be honest, as a kind of a backup play every now and again striker, you know. The only thing is, striker options are so expensive. I mean, Osimhen and Napoli is going to be.
I mentioned
Osimhen
to my uncle the other day. Well, it was actually 2 weeks ago. And I said I'd like Osimhen. I've watched a lot of Osimhen. Like, if I'm ever wanting to watch a young, well, he's probably not that young now. I don't know how old he is. But if ever wanting to watch like a good striker, obviously, if I'm not talking about Benzema, Kane, etc. Talk about like the younger strikers. But Osimhen, I've watched loads of clips of him. Although I explain that terribly, I've watched loads of clips of him. And for me, I'd like him at United. There's a few strikers that I'd like at United, and I've just named two or three, and I'm looking forward to seeing him back. I'm so excited with Ten Hag signing, man, because obviously if we'd signed Pochettino, although I would have liked Pochettino's, I wouldn't have minded Pochettino, and I wouldn't have minded his transfer windows, and would have backed it all and things like that. It would have been the predictable Kane, Rice, the same thing that we've done, and I will absolutely love if we have a transfer window of Kane and Rice. I'm not saying I won't, but it would have been very predictable every single year of the same big names, the new big names that come about, and it would have been very predictable. And with Ten Hag, it's slightly unknown. Yes, it's a little bit of a risk, but why not? Why not? I can't wait. I apologise. I keep going back to this. I apologise. By the way, that Brentford game that we just spoken about, that was game number 3 in one game week out of 10 that we could have taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Game number 4 in one game week that we could have taken advantage of. Leicester 2, Crystal Palace 1. Lookman and Keenan. Is it Keenan? Dewsbury Hall getting on the score sheet, and Keenan Dewsbury Hall getting an assist, and Maddison getting an assist. I think Maddison's been very good this season, very underrated. And that is one player that I do think is better than Mount, actually. I think he should get in the England squad for the Nations League in June, which I'm looking forward to. Keenan Dewsbury Hall, what a player. Unbelievable player. He's just what I would say is burst onto the scene, to be honest. What's your thoughts on him?
I actually really rate him, man. I liked him. He was coming through as well. I say coming through. I think he's 25 now, 24. Like it's not like he's this youngster that should be in the England squad right immediately. He's one of these Leicester products that sort of petered along, loan spells, that kind of types players, and he's just sort of found his place and went full for it, took his opportunity, and he's such a good player. I mean, I think he's a box to box. Well, whenever I've seen him play, I've seen him about 3 or 4 times. He does strike me as that kind of player, and I think he could do a job for. I think he's at the perfect level. Maybe he should push for England squad in the future. I mean, if he keeps playing the way he is, you know. But there's certainly better players than him in his position, so I think he's kind of at the perfect level. But with James Maddison, I've always loved James Maddison. I mean, as a player, I used to. A year or 2 ago, he was probably one of my favourite players to watch. I mean, I loved him to bits. He fell off a cliff at the start of this season and last season in terms of form. But before we signed Bruno, I actually wanted him or Grealish as our attacking midfielder. And we picked the right player in the end. And I think the Bruno signing was the time I decided. I know you disagree with my point here, but that was more the time I decided maybe we shouldn't be looking for British players in every position. You know, maybe there's better quality out there. And that's when I started to watch football more, you know?
I can agree with you. There is and I do feel like that a lot of British players get unnecessary hate because the British. But I don't think you're just going to make that point. Like, you're not just going to be hateful. I know you. Do you know what I mean? Specifically. And I don't think Like Wan-Bissaka, for example, we just paid 50. We paid 50 million 3 years ago for Wan-Bissaka. In my opinion, one of our worst ever signings. And that's not to incite hate on a player. Like, I will always back Wan-Bissaka, but I don't rate him at all. 80 million on Maguire. Maguire, in my opinion, is a very good centre back, but he's not worth 80 million. If Van Dijk's worth 75 million, Maguire's not worth 80 million. No way. Let's be honest with ourselves. And I could go through loads of examples over the years. And they are, because the British and because they play in the Premier League, they have got this, I feel like because the Premier League is such the most watched league, and because they're coming through these the teams which are most watched in the world, the Premier League teams, that they're worth more, and regardless of whether football and ability they are or they aren't, that is what they're worth in this current football market. And I feel like we should be looking elsewhere for other transfers, because to get Luis Diaz like the Scousers did for, what was it, 40 million, to get even Jota, I know he's playing for a British club, for an English club, but to get him for, what was it, 40 million they got him for, what a signing. And he's getting some hate by Scousers recently, but what a signing. Chelsea have done it, haven't they? Ziyech, I feel, has been underrated for them. I know it's not worked out too much, but I feel he's been underrated for them. Thiago Silva, even on a free. I could name loads of clubs that have done it. Leicester with Kante. What a signing. That was unbelievable. One of the best signings in Premier League history, in the sense of how cheap he was and how much he's done in the league. So I do agree with you in that sense. Although I don't think we should not go for any British players, if that makes sense, because yeah, exactly, because we can't really ignore the likes of Declan Rice, Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford when he was younger. Let's say Rashford didn't play for us, Marcus Rashford when he was younger. You can't ignore them players, but I agree we should look elsewhere as well. And I think Ten Hag will like to do that. I think he'll do that. I think it seems he's obsessed with football. Norwich 2, Burnley 0. Do you think they're going to stay up? I said ages ago, I think they might stay up, and they're not.
Yeah.
They're not out of it yet.
I think Norwich has kind of cemented their place as the yo-yo club. Them and Fulham. That's their level. They will absolutely destroy and dominate the championship. Sorry. Week in, week out, probably set records for point tallies and goal scores. Kind of got Alexander Mitrovic doing at Fulham now. He's got 38 goals, I think. Like, fucking ridiculous stuff. And he comes to the Premier League and he'll score 2 goals, And I think Norwich and Fulham, he kind of symbolises Norwich and Fulham as clubs. They are literally the traditional yo-yo clubs. Premier League Championship. I mean, Norwich sort of, I reckon I genuinely believe Norwich kind of want to get relegated just so they can dominate the championship again and sort of keep the money flow going, I'd love for them to stay up, because I actually quite like Norwich and I like their style of football. I'm Daniel Farke. I loved him. I loved Godfrey, Max Aarons, Todd Cantwell, like these players that Timo Pukki, who seems to be like a 1-month wonder. He had that great month at the COVID season, and he just kind of fallen off. I know he scored, I think, as well. But Norwich are, I think they're that yo-yo club. I don't think they'll stay up now. Someone needs to finish last, and I think it will be them.
Yeah.
But they signed very good players in the summer. Like, they signed Milo Rashica, who Liverpool wanted. Josh Sargent, the American striker. Pierre-Lee Malou from East Coast. They signed for some decent players. Like, it's just a shame that their club isn't good enough. Like, they're just not good enough. Half of our championship players. They're like, I just think that's their level, and I think they'll get relegated. So sadly,
Leicester got Kante, Vardy, and Mahrez for less than 9 million. That is unbelievable business. That is just masterclass. Right, City and Liverpool. I'm watching it, and I don't know whether you're watching. When I'm watching it, and I wish I could turn off from United, not like. So when I'm watching it, I'm like, we wouldn't make that pass. we can't create this many chances. We're levels behind. We can't control the midfield like that, like City controlled Liverpool's. We can't defend like that. Our structure don't defend like that. Our structure isn't like that. And are you like that when you're watching top level games like this?
Definitely. I mean, especially that game alone, kind of, because I just endured that shit performance
Yeah.
in Goodison Park the day beforehand, and then I see that on telly with a few points to me, that has kept in mind. I'm very happy, but I'm just there thinking we are so off the pace. I know I was watching. Gavin said it last night on Devil's Digest. I read Devil's Digest, and it was such a good point. I mean, the contrast between our style of play and theirs is on a different scale. I mean, they play such great football, and even the Classicos and their Kleisters in Germany, even PSV and Ajax, they actually play such well better football. Even the Electricity League, and I know I've mentioned on the last show, they play better football than we do. And it just shows when you're watching two of the best teams in the world battle it out for top place and probably the biggest game of the season for them, for who wins the Premier League. It was, I mean, the equality, the sheer quality on show, and then their style of play is just so much better than ours. I know I'm a big hater on Man City style of football. I think it can be quite boring at times, and I definitely prefer Klopp's style of football because it's similar to how Sir Alex played. But even with Pep's football, he just dismantled teams easily. You know, I mean, we know last, firsthand, we're getting destroyed by them week in week out for past few years. The contrast is unbelievable, and I really wish. I think Ten Hag will bring us to that level in the next year or two where we'll be playing well better football than we are at the moment. So thank God for that. And I don't mind short term pain for long term gain, So yeah,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable though, the difference.
Like you just said, you think Ten Hag will bring us to a higher level of how we play football. Do you think
Definitely.
Pochettino would have done that?
I think Pochettino would have improved the style of football. Like Pochettino's football, I know a lot of people, and me included, have hated ridiculously on Poch just so we get Ten Hag. But don't get me wrong, Poch is actually he's a good coach. I mean, the style of football with Spurs I quite liked because he used the fullbacks, he utilised them so well. Trippier, he made him a new player. Ben Davies, Danny Rose, he turned these players into very average players who very good. I mean, Danny Rose went to a World Cup, I think, in 2018.
Yeah,
I mean, he made them, he improved players. To be fair, like he's a good coach, Pochettino is, and he would have played our football. I think Shaw and Delors would have been brilliant. Sorry, but Ten Hag's football massively outweighs his. I think Poch he can't. So I think he gets quite unfair slack at PSG in terms of his tactics because he's a front three that don't want to work for him. They don't want to run around and do the pressing that he wants. So you don't really see Juan Bernat and Hakimi at the levels they should be. Like the ones we've seen at Southampton with Shaw and the likes, and Spurs. It's quite sad, but I think he would have got a tune out of a lot of our players because he would have accepted the Glazers' demands and just played the players that have a lot of power, like the British players. I'm sorry, but them players like that, you know who I'm talking about there. Keith. I think he would have got a big tune out of them compared to Hag, and he would have had the arm around the shoulder mentality that Ollie had with Shaw and Rashford and Maguire and these type of players in Coney. He would have improved a lot of players, I thought. I think it's just I think it would have been 3 years of the same shit really, and I'm sick of that. That's why I didn't want them, and he would have signed the players that you would have loved. You would have loved Rice and Kane, which I don't want because I've went through this point now, so I won't regurgitate. But he would have only signed them, and he would have made. We would have finished fourth, I'd say, but we would have played better football. I just think Ten Hag's style of football is far better than his, and would
Ten
demolish him
Hag is the
any day of the week.
I actually think, obviously, we're finished speaking about the Premier League game week now, but I think Ten Hag has got a similar job to when Sir Alex Ferguson first came in this club. He had to change a culture in the club. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know whether it's just crashed. It may have crashed. If it has, I will finish what I'm speaking about on Monday. That seems staged. That was not staged. I'm not sure whether it's crashed. I will just give him a message now. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. I do want to thank everyone, by the way, for supporting it. I think it's completely disconnected. So I will end the stream there. However, thank you for supporting. He froze. He hasn't moved for 40 minutes. Oh yeah, I have a ton of assignments to get done by Thursday. For fuck's sake, I'm finished. He said it disconnected. Yeah, good luck for your assignments. Fair enough. Yeah, he's just said it's disconnected. Thank you guys for supporting. I will be live again on Monday. I've already set the stream up. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I've got a lot of screenshotting to do for all the news tonight. Oh my fucking god. Eric Ten Hag is done. See you later.